It's a rainy day. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savar Matner. I'm sorry if I look sweaty, tired. Just got done doing a squat day, and I wanted to bring you guys the video for my training week. This is the first week of July, all the way up to the first Monday in July. Man, let me get my calendar here, and I can tell you from I worked out that July 1st, 2nd, and then I went out of town that weekend and I did my deadlifts on the 8th of July, and I did do some training while I was in Tennessee on that weekend, but I didn't record it. What was that? The 6th, but I didn't record that. So I don't want to hold you too long. This is going to be like a lengthy video, and I'm pressed for time. I got things to do. So let's dive right in. And I have to say, I am proud. So this is 225. Now, originally, you guys might remember my overall programming. I wanted to start hitting this weight, and then when I get to a certain rep range, I was going to reduce the amount of sets for that rep range. However, since I'm doing training in the gym with cable machines and isometric machines, I decided that trying to do 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps with 225 might be overkill, because I view compound lifts as a strength training lift. I'm not saying that you can't build a chest by doing a lot of compound lift with reps, but the recovery from it is longer. So I'm going to basically stick to strength training with all of my compound lifts. And since I'm going to the gym and I'm doing muscle training while I'm at the gym for that particular week of training, because every other week I do home training, and the next week I'm at the gym doing muscle style training, which is mainly volume, more reps with a set amount of sets. So normally I'm doing five sets of, say, a rep range of 8 to 15 reps at about 60% to 70% of my 1 rep max. And so doing that in the gym, and then trying to come home and then the following week do the same thing with compound lifts, I might run into some overtraining issues. So I'm going to keep my compound lifts just as that for strength training. The goal is 5 by 5, maybe 5 by 8 or 3 by 8, depending on how things start to look. But I'm not going to try to do 12 to 15 reps with weight unless it's a drop set. And if I drop a set, which I normally do to get some volume, I normally drop it down to about 50, 60%. And now I normally do 1 rep, maybe 10 reps or so, and that's it. Because compound lifts takes a lot. So I have restructured my plan, and that's what I'm sticking to. So I started with doubles, if I recall, the last time I did 225. This time I'm going to dive right in and try to go for sets of 3. So nothing crazy, just posing myself, getting myself mentally prepared to lift the weight. And I can say it feels good, taking my time. For full comparison, I'm 179 pounds with water. I'm not on creatine yet. I'll be back on it starting next month. And you can probably see the bench had moved. So now I took the pin off just in case I have to dump the weight. And the reason being, on that first set, when I went for 3 reps outright, the 3rd rep felt like a grinder. But I'm proud of myself, because the first time I attempted this here a couple of weeks back, a few weeks back, I waited to the very last set to do it. So I dived right in on the first set. Second set, I'm going to go for it, grind it out, boom, got it, no problem. It was a little bit slow, so now I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to do it again for a 3rd set, try to hit it for 3 reps. And once again, recovery from my injury on this side, for my cervical neck injury that was affecting this hand, this strength, is slowly going away. So I'm feeling more confident. But I think this here, I kind of put a trigger too quick. Just pay attention. 1 rep, 2 rep. Then all of a sudden, this rep, my left arm gave out. It just didn't want to go. So I had to dump the weight. And I could have edited this, left this out, but I wanted to show you guys that this is going to happen. And this is me in my own way.
It get like that sometimes. I still got 1 rep to get. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it, and then we'll go set 4 and set 5, and maybe I'll just do doubles, or I'll try to do another triple, or I go 1 rep at a time, 1 rack, 1 rack, 1 rack. But that can happen sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta dump the fucking weight. So this is set 3. I got 1 more rep to get. I'll rest for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll be on set 4, and I'll just see how I feel when I go lift the weight.
And that's the truth. It gets like that sometimes. So when that happens, you just recompose yourself, finish the set. So this arm gave out. Like I say, I'm dealing with a weakness that's slowly going away from a pinched nerve up in my cervical neck from a box squat that I did back in August of last year. And have my neck popped, fucking disc realigned and stains and therapy. Shit's been getting better. So now this is set number 4, and I'm just gonna do doubles, just to play it safe. So a double, racket, right, and then I'm gonna go for 1 more rep. Even though this set is technically done because I racked the weight, I still want to try to get X amount of total reps in mind. So that's 15 reps with 225. So you go 5 sets, 3 reps per set. That's 15. That's 15 reps. So like I say, just compose yourself. You guys are gonna have those days where you try to train. This might happen. And I'm 100 and, like I say, at this point, 79 pounds. Now, I weighed myself today. I dropped down to 176 because I've been cutting carbs out, been eating protein last 3 days. Matter of fact, when I get back home, I'm gonna do some cardio. I got cardio tomorrow, and then I'm gonna take a off day for Friday, and then depending on how I feel on Saturday, I'm going to deadlift. But if I feel a little sore still from squat, I did a grueling squat session today, then I might not deadlift till Sunday, and I'll just replace that as a active recovery fucking cardio day. So this is the last set. Once again, bam, bam, and I'm a racket. And like I say, I'm impressed with myself at lifting 225 again. Now I'm doing reps. Yes, 2 reps is reps. I'm not 240 pounds, 230 pounds, repping 225, and then maxing at 275. I'm sub 200. If I had to peg my 1 rep max, it's probably 240, maybe 245. So I'm up to around 89% of my 1 rep max. So this is all it's gonna do is help me get stronger. And then when I do my drop sets, I can get the volume that I need from off the compound lifts. And sometimes less is best. So that's that with that. Like I say, actually I went for 1 more. That's right. I went for 1 more. Just to mentally prepare myself. Now, full disclosure, I did some training today with 225. Actually yesterday with 225. And I did 5 sets, but I did doubles. But on the last 2 sets, I increased the weight to 230 and did doubles. So I'm proud of myself. I added 5 pounds and did doubles with those. And so strength is coming back. Eventually, though, the goal is to do 5 by 5 and then maybe 5 by 8, somewhere in that range. If I go for 8 reps, then I'll probably knock it down to 3 by 8. But like I say, strength training, I'm not trying to go past 8, just so I won't burn myself out. And that's going to be a while. Patience. And you know what? Like, I'm going to go for 1 more. I got 1 or 2 more. So just pushing myself. This is how you build a foundation. Just because I can't go 1, 2, 3, I got to do what the body allows me to do. And you guys are going to learn that as you train. You train smart. And luckily, I took the clamp off. Otherwise, the weight would have fell. And now I can roll it off me. I have done it before. Roll it off, but it's painful as fuck. But if that weight get to be too heavy and you don't have a spotter, it's best to do it this way. I do have safety bars, but it doesn't allow the bar to come down and touch my chest. It stops right above the chest, and I hate that. It's good if you go do pause reps. I can set the thing to do pause reps, right, for sticking point purposes, but I'm not training for that right now. So Go ahead, grind it out, rack it, and I'm gonna go for one more rep. I forgot about all this. It's been like 2 weeks since I filmed this. I forgot. Yes, I wanted to grind everything out of me with 225 so the body can adapt and get used to having that weight in your hands in that position. It's all about learning the motor skill pattern. It's more to than just grabbing the weight, coming down, and pushing the weight up. It's a whole skill that comes with that. So, but 225 should be a milestone for every man. Uh, the average guy can't even lift this. Hell, the average guy can't even lift 135. Nowadays, they're just lazy as fuck. So if you can lift 225 or more, you're doing pretty damn good. And I'm still up 200, so that makes it even more better. Come on down, press it up, racking. I got long ass arms, so it's more of a with me. So now we're gonna drop the weight down. This is 200 pounds, and this just to get some volume in. And like I said, it's nothing crazy. Matter of fact, if I recall, I'm gonna do one more drop set. This is just to get some volume in, right? Taking my time, noticing I'm lowering the weight down, being as close as I can up on the concentric, lowering the eccentric. I'm keeping a certain tempo. At the same time, I'm pressing up. I'm putting my mind in my pecs to keep them tight as I press up. And this right here is just to get all the stored energy out of the pecs. Nothing too crazy. Now, if I really want to build my muscle, this will probably be the weight that I will work with. Matter of fact, drop it down to about 190, 185 if I want to do like fucking 5 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 10, right? Because this is a good weight. This is like 70% of my 1 rep max, maybe even 65%. So this will be a weight that will help me build. But once again, when you do a lot of reps with compound lifts at a certain percentage, the recovery just takes longer, and it takes a while to adapt to that recovery. So yeah, that's right. I didn't drop it no more than that because I'm gonna do some dumbbell work. So now I'm doing some bent over rows. Now I want you guys to know, you might not can see it from this angle. I did a better preview of it in the next training video that I'm working on that I got done here today. When you do bent over rows for the back, a lot of times your lower back might be tight. If you got tight hamstrings, tight glutes like I have sometimes, you might find that your back might roll. Now, notice I straightened my back out because I felt that my lower back, and you can't see it in this angle, it was a little bit rounded. Now, that's not bad. The weight's not that heavy. But once you start to roll heavy, you want to keep a neutral spine. So you want to keep that lower back as neutral as possible. That's going to save you in the long run. The last thing you want to do is herniate disc. Now, I have longer arms, so it's very hard to get that tight, straight posture. It's not impossible, but it's hard when you got fucking long arms. I'm right at about 6 foot tall, so different insertion points at different heights, and the way my hips insert and the way my arms are. It's going to look a lot different than say someone like Jeff Nipper, who's shorter than me, that do rows like this. So the shorter you are, you have a better advantages when it comes to your leverages. The taller you are, it's a little bit of a struggle. So now, come on over, and I'm working my right pec. My right pec lags. The fullness in this pec, you probably can see it right here. It lags a little bit. It's nothing like this pec here. This pec here is a little bit more fuller. Then if I turn this way, you can see how that muscle right here, and it could be just genetics, but it's slowly been growing. So I've been working on giving that pec some love, like my left leg a little bit smaller than my right leg. So I give my left leg love more than the right after I do the compound lift. So that's what I'm doing here, just giving the pec a little bit more love. Because it's lagging. That's what I'm saying. It's lagging. It's a little bit smaller. It's lagging. Because nobody asks, why aren't you doing both dumbbells? That's why. All right. Bent over T-bar row in the corner. Work the upper back, the rhomboids, the infraspinatus muscles, suspinatus muscle, teres minor, teres major muscles are all around the shoulder girdle, and the rear delt. That's what that targets, as well as your lats. Once again, come back and do another set. Nothing crazy. And that's the 50-pound dumbbell. Actually, it might have been a little bit too heavy, but I don't have 40-pound dumbbells. 35 pounds, I got to do a lot of repetitions. And then, so the tricep and the front delt, so the front delt is having a stabilizer muscle. The front delt gets a little sore. Triceps wear out. The pec doesn't really get that stimulus that I want. 50-pound, I ain't got to rep that much, but it's some other stabilizer muscles taking over, which is taken away from the pec. So I'm gonna probably invest in some 40-pound dumbbells because at the gym that seems to be the sweet spot. I really feel it when I use the 40-pound dumbbells. So, or some 45-pounders. Now, if you notice my hand position change, wide targets the rear delts more. The infraspinatus muscle, suspinatus muscle, they get target more. When you start to bring your elbows down, your shoulder down, you started to incorporate more of the lats. So now I'm doing 30-pound dumbbells, and now I'm using both because I do want to get some blood on the left pec as well. I just want to give the right side more love. And notice I'm being very slow on the eccentric, and then I'm not being so explosive on the concentric because I'm trying to keep time on attention. So I'm keeping that certain tempo. Down slow, up slow, down slow, up slow. Since that's lightweight, it makes the muscle work harder. And like I said, I'm taking my time. I'm chewing on some gum, trying to get that chiseled jawline, right? Because as I'm losing weight in my face, I want the jaw to be chiseled. So chewing on gum helps. Once again, just taking my time. Now I'm holding that stretch position just to try to deplete the muscle of glycogen stores and ATP stores. Now my hands are close together. That's all lat. Pull it. Now for full disclosure, I have increased the weight since then. I got 90 pounds on the end now, and I did that yesterday after I beat my back up, right? Went over there, and the goal was to do 5 per handle. Back was too fatigued, but I still did what I could do. All right, lat pull down. Notice chest high, arch my upper back, pulling the bar down right to above my nipple line there, keeping my elbows tucked to the side and back. That's incorporating those lats. And I'm taking my time fighting it on the way up because, believe it or not, this is contracting. This is the eccentric, contracting eccentric. So you want to slow down the eccentric. Behind the neck, which gets a bad rep, but notice I'm using not overly heavy weight, but heavy enough to stimulate the muscles. I get a real good contraction right in the middle of my upper back right there. Where the rhomboids roll around it, right in that area there. It feels real good. And if you want to have a big upper back, this is how you have to build it. You got to hit your back from different angles. I know behind the neck pulls get a bad rep, but it's only when you're doing it wrong and if you're using overly, extremely heavy weight. I know Michael Hearn can do like 405 from behind the neck presses or 305 or some shit like that, 315, some shit like that. But he's built for that. He's a fucking strong ass individual. But the average person don't have to lift that type of weight for your back. You really put your cervical spine and your upper thoracic spine in a compromised situation if you haven't built that platform to do that off of. But doing some behind the neck pressing is better than not doing any with proper weights. And you have to do the move properly. Notice I'm fighting that back up on the eccentric. And I'm going to do another set. Really want to fry the lats. The lats, the back can take a beating. Don't believe or don't think that it cannot. It can take a pretty good beating and keep going. So I'm taking my time. Fighting the eccentric up, being explosive on the concentric. Like I say, notice that arc in my back, that arc right here, that right there is putting the muscles in the proper position for the greatest contraction and the greatest eccentric loading, as well as being more stable. The more stable you are, you put the weight on the muscle you're trying to target. Stabilizers don't come into play unless the weight is just too heavy. I got the weight set just right. I got my back in the proper position. So the stabilizers ain't working as hard. The main muscles that I'm trying to target is getting targeted. So now I'm dropping the weight down. Now I'm gonna do some flies. Now, for full disclosure, with the Wheeler XRS, those handles here, I could do flies. I love doing them inside right here because I get right around my sternum. That insertion where the muscles connect to the sternum here, I get a good pump. When I'm wide like this, the whole pec is getting stretched. But when I bring the hands in to where I'm flying like this here, the center part of the chest around the sternum really gets a workout. But if I put my hands high, like where the what you call those, the spongy, the fucking couplers are at, then the upper pec gets a good little pump, but I find that the delts take over because that's not an adjustable seat. And if I put my hands on the bar right here, right, then yes, it still hit the upper pec a little bit, but once again, now the delts are taking over. And if I go to the low bar here, right, it's more of just the middle and lower pec, which I don't have to really train at. I train the lower pec at the gym because, believe it or not, when you're sitting up and you're training the lower pec, the upper pec also gets a pump if you're training right and you got the seat set right. The whole pec works, is just you're going to target certain areas more. All right. So that's why I got my hands out on the bar and I'm doing a normal fly, but I'm taking my time while I'm doing it. Keeping that certain tempo. Once again, nothing too crazy. The chest is already fried, by the way. It's fried. I mean, it's fried. Once again, just going through the motion. Another set, nothing crazy. By the way, this is a Diet Pepsi, 0 calories. But it does have caffeine. I need a little bit of caffeine because I got to get ready to drive across town. So I need a little pick me up. Once again, just go through the motions. I got about 80, 90 pounds on there. And with the chest already being fatigued, that weight is really challenging to the chest. So yes, it might be light, but it is challenging. All right. I'm gonna do one more, one more set. Now notice I came in, and that's what I mean. When I do it this way, I get so much of a pump right around my sternum area. It is a crazy, crazy, crazy pump. I got a little bit of time left. I got about 10 minutes left, which is about right. The chest is fried. I think it's the last set right here. Go ahead again. And once again, don't knock it till you try it. Right in here, if the weight's perfectly, boom, you feel the pec fire. And my pec's been growing. I can say that it's been growing, and it's going to take its time. You don't build a physique overnight, even with steroids. For those of you that's on the shit, but for us naturals, it's a long process. Now I'm doing some preacher curls, nothing crazy. I think that's 50 pounds total. But us natties, it takes a while. My physique probably won't hit its peak time in my mid 40s, early 50s. I'll be 38 this year. So full disclosure, I really didn't start training seriously just up until last year. I've been a personal trainer for a couple of years, but I still didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I understood the basics, but before I became a personal trainer, I started lifting weights. I was eating everything under the sun and got fat as a blob and didn't really know. Now that I know how to train and I understand what to do and what not to do, now the physique is starting to show and I'm making gains and the body is adapting. Even at my old age, you can make gains. Just the older you get, the less you need to do. but you still want to build a foundation, because the older you get, testosterone tend to go down. And if you do too much training at an old age, you can really ruin your testosterone. Then you got to get on TRT or HRT. And I'm trying to avoid all of that. I want to be a natural to put dirt on my old ass. So once again, curl. Speaking of that, Greg just said, don't worry. I'm making a video about your ass today or tomorrow, but it's coming. It's coming. Being explosive on the concentric, the eccentric, trying to fight, but the biceps like, fuck you, dude. Now I'm gonna go to some dumbbells, and then I'm just gonna work my way down. And once again, I'm sorry about the lighting in the garage, horrible ass lighting, but knows all the sweat. I bet it's hot. So hit the side. Those are 25-pound dumbbells, nothing crazy. One arm at a time. I just feel my muscles better when I do one arm at a time versus trying to go at the same time. I can, but I feel my arm so much better, the muscles, when I do one at a time. And I'm going from different vantage points. You can see the muscles at different angles. But you get my picture. You get my point. Drop the weights down to the 12s. We're all the way down to the 12s. Then we'll do some hammer curls here. Yep, hammer curls. Want to work that bicep brachialis muscle here. This muscle right here that gives it the lift, right? Probably can see it better. I got light back here. That muscle right here, the bicep brachialis, this muscle. That a lot of people overlook. That the muscle right there, the bicep brachialis on the side right here that we're targeting with that. That right there. My little 15, 16-inch arms full of blood. All right. Now we're doing, I think these are 15s. We're doing the 15s, and I'm slowing the weight down because it's a lighter weight. So slowing it down challenges the muscles to work harder, because once again, it's a lighter weight. Once again, hammer curls from the side. And trust me, my arms are fried. And with biceps, you can hit like this once a week, they'll grow. Now, if I wanted to space out my volume, then I could do a little bit. Just the preacher curls would have been enough. And then 2 days later, I could have did this routine. But I decided to fry them because I'm only going to be training arms once a week. When I do compound lifts, I only train the smaller muscles just once a week. I'm actually going to be hitting my biceps and triceps tomorrow, as well as shoulders tomorrow. Now, squat day. This is the very next day. 225. The goal was 225, 5 reps, 5 sets. Let's see that I accomplish those goals. I can't say my legs were sore for a few days after this. And those the shoes I got on, they're hard bottom but low profile shoes, because we don't wear squat shoes every day. So learning how to squat in basic shoes is key, but you need a shoe with a hard sole. Today I squatted in my Jordans, has a hard sole. It's a little bit of a higher shoe though. It's not as hard as those low top Nikes. So it's one of those things where you're gonna have to pick a proper shoe if you want to squat. A lot of people just squat barefooted. I wouldn't recommend you do that because you don't walk around barefooted most of the time unless you're in your house. Once again, this is set 2, getting my ass down to depth. Taking my time. And I have to say, being able to squat 225 for a few reps again felt really good. And I'm very proud of myself. We did 225 today as well. The last 2 sets, I jumped to 230. And I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, the rep ranges that I was in. But it's nice to see me progressing. Same with the bench. Yesterday, I added 5 pounds, made it 230 for the last 2 sets. Same with squatting day, 230 for the last 2 sets. So this is set 3. Take my time. Boom. Getting all the way down. There we go. Push, push, push. And like I said, the camera's angling down, so you can't really tell if I'm at depth because the camera is angling down. I don't have a cameraman. If I angle it too low and angle up, it's still going to be kind of off. So it's just one of those things, but you can probably see I'm getting down to depth. What is this? Set 4. Set 4. Same thing. Boom. And like I say, it feels good to be able to squat this weight again. I was told I'd never squat 225 again, let alone deadlift it. So it feels good to say, fuck you, doc. So this is the last set right here. And I'm like, you know what? I can do it. So I'm going to push myself pretty hard. 3 steps back. Brace myself. Down. Up. I'm keeping the tempo. I don't want to take tension off my quads. So that's why I'm not locking my hips out. Now I kind of lock them out. And I'm going to go for one more. I'm like, fuck it. Let's go for one more. Come on down. Up. Rack it. So knocked it out of the park. No problem. Felt pretty good. Matter of fact, take that back. I went up to 230 this session. Not last session. This whole session I did 230. So drop the weight down a little bit north of my body weight just to get some volume in. Nothing crazy. Just want to get a few reps in. Squatting is good, guys. It will raise your testosterone a few days afterwards. So for those of you that like to fuck, squat. Squat, you're fuck. One more set. And then it's off to the deadlifting, and I'll be done. It's off to the deadlifting videos. Because I didn't do no hamstring work until my deadlifting session day, because hamstring plays a big role in deadlifting. But once again, getting down to depth, just keeping that certain tempo, being explosive I can up, but lowering the weight down slowly on the eccentric. There it is, rack it. Now, that's right. I want to get some value in the left quad here. So the weight's very low. It's like fucking 30 pounds or so like that with some resistance, about 40 pounds total. Just wanted to get some blood in that quad because that quad is a little bit smaller than my right quad because I'm right side dominant. And I hate the little fucking spongy things on there. They just be sliding off. It's like every time I do leg work, it slides off. So now I drop it down to just one plate for a total. And look at that fat in my stomach. I got a little fat. I got sweat in my eyes, a little fat, a little chubby on my stomach. Boy, it's like 25 pounds total, but my legs are fried pretty much. Yeah, I got I'm 170, let's say 75, 76 pounds a day. I have 150 of it's muscle, maybe 155. The rest is fat. So I still have about 20 pounds of fat to lose throughout the whole body. And the majority is right in my stomach, of course. Got about a couple pounds in the face, couple pounds in the legs, but about 20, 25 pounds of fat is what I have on my frame. If I want to keep a healthy range of that, then lose about 15 pounds of it, and they'll keep me healthy. So now deadlifting. So nothing crazy. This is 300 pounds, right? Now the goal was 350, and we got to that goal. We're going to get to that goal. Sorry about my undies, green undies on. 315 for a single. Boom, rack it down. This is 330. I'm still warming up for a single. No, I'm on just my lower back. So how about foot position with the deadlift too? 330 for a single. Felt good. This is 340 for a single. Felt good. Now we're going to do 350. And we stayed with this weight. Now, normally, I think I did last time 5 sets, doubles. The last one was a triple. So this time, I started off doing doubles. And then I'm going to end it with a triple. There we go. Sorry about that. And this is the final set right here. So it was 2 double sets, and then it's a triple. And the reason why I stopped here was because I basically spent myself, right? And I'm proud of that because now it didn't take that long to hit a triple. It didn't take that long at all to hit a triple. So, with all that being said, guys, my training is going good. Now, the next time I deadlift, which will be 3 to 4 days from now, 350, I'm staying there. I'm going to try to do 3 reps each set. The goal is 3 to 5 sets. If I can do 3, 3, 3, and I'm not too spent by the 4th set, then we'll do 3. By the 5th set, 3. Right? Once I can do that weight at least 5 times for 3 of those sets, then it's time to move up because deadlifting takes a toll on you. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. The next one will be dropping here next week. I'm not recording the gym right now because the gym's been packed, so I'm holding off on that. But if I can get some footage in the gym, I bring a little bit of footage. But I'll be at the gym next week. But I am doing compound lifts this week, so I just did my bench and squat yesterday and today respectively. So deadlift is coming up next, and then I put that all together, and then I'll be bringing that to you guys here next week. Hope you guys enjoy. Been your boy Savar Matner, and I am out, everyone. Peace.